Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today, we are bringing you the final game of a four-game set from Comerica Park between the Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers. It is a Tiger team that is looking for a sweep as they've won the first three games of this set. It is going to be Shane Bieber versus Michael Pineda, and we're going to give you the two starting lineups in just a moment when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Guardians and the Tigers, and it is ready to get underway as we are going to be seeing Stephen Kwan come to bat for the Guardians. It'll be Kwan in the leadoff spot. He'll be followed by Ahmed Rosario and Jose Ramirez here in the top of the first for the Guardians. We'll get you the full lineups as we move along. We thank everybody for stopping in, whether you're listening live or on delay here. We had a couple of technical glitches to get ourselves going, but we are in the seat and in the saddle, and we're ready to get this one underway. So Michael Pineda is on the hill for the Tigers. He is a right-hander who is in a first year of his contract with the Tigers, as he was formerly with the Minnesota Twins, New York Yankees, and Seattle Mariners. He delivers a breaking ball outside, which misses for ball one, and the count is 1-0 to Stephen Kwan. Kwan on the season is hitting .270. He's got a homer and 20 runs batted in. There is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. Pineda missed about 6 weeks as he was hit with a comebacker and broke a finger on his throwing hand. Put him out of action for a little bit. There is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. But Pineda was a top, highly regarded prospect when he originally was with the Mariners, and he was flipped to the Yankees. And then he was with the Twins and now, of course, with the Tigers. There was a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Drifting back on it is Riley Green. Is Willie Castro. He makes the catch in front of the warning track. And that is going to retire Kwan for the first out of the inning. So one up and one away, and that'll bring up Ahmed Rosario. Defensively for the Tigers in this one, from left to right, it is Robbie Grossman in left. Riley Green is in center. The right fielder is Willie Castro. Around the horn, it is Spencer Torkelson getting the start at first base. It's Jonathan Scope at second. The shortstop today is Javi Baez, and the third baseman is Cody Clemens. And of course, Pineda is with Tucker Barnhart. That is the battery today. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Rosario. For Rosario on the season, he's hitting .278. He's got 3 homers and 24 runs batted in. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count runs even to 1-1. Rosario has had himself a nice campaign. He came over from the Mets. He was also used in the outfield a little bit last year. He got some starts in center field. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1 to Rosario. But shortstop is his natural position, and that's pretty much where he has settled into this year with the Guardians. Pineda ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up in the infield. Coming underneath it is the second baseman, Jonathan Scope. He makes the catch. And that is 2 up and 2 away here for the Guardians in their top of the first inning. And that is going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Jose Ramirez. For Ramirez, he's batting .289. He's got 16 homers and 63 runs batted in. He is one of the top third basemen in all of baseball, offensively, defensively. He can run the bases. He's got an arm. He can do it all. And there's a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Ramirez is arguably a 5-tool player. He is one of the best in the game, and he is right now is right at the top of his game. There's a fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-1. Last year, he was just missed out on being a 30-30 player. And here comes the offering from Pineda. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. But Ramirez has been one of the constants in the Cleveland lineup over the last few seasons. He broke in as a 20-year-old back in 2013. He's a 3-time All-Star. He finished 6th in the MVP balloting last year and also a 3-time Silver Slugger. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 2-2. In some ways, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. He's finished 2nd in MVP balloting back in 2020, and then he finished 3rd in MVP balloting in the 2018 and 17 seasons. And here's the offering from Pineda. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now runs full to Ramirez. There was talk in the last year that there was possible, even in the offseason, that Ramirez might be dealt from the Guardians. That never, ever came to fruition. There was talk that the Blue Jays were a serious contender for his services. And here is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left center field. Coming in on it is Grossman. He's got space and room, and he makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for the Guardians in their half of the first inning. So the Guardians, all 3 outs were in the air. 2 fly balls and a pop-up. It was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're through a half inning. It is Cleveland nothing, Detroit coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with a call at the bottom of the first inning in just a couple moments. Glad you guys could stop in here with us today. Hold tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Much appreciated there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And we have a couple of folks in the chat today. Bay Area EA Sports is in the house. He's pumping for his fist for Cleveland today. And Marcus, I'm not even going to attempt your last name. It looks like it's Venancio. And we thank you for being here as well. And hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the stream. The lineup for the Tigers today, leading off in center field, will be Riley Green. Hitting second is the shortstop, Javi Baez. Batting third is Robbie Grossman. He's in left field. It is the DH. Miguel Cabrera hits in the cleanup spot. Jonathan Scope is batting fifth at second base. Willie Castro is in right field. He bats sixth. Cody Clemens gets the nod at third base. He's batting seventh. Spencer Torkelson is hitting eighth at first base. And Tucker Barnhart is doing the duties behind the plate. And they are all going to be facing Shane Bieber this afternoon, who is 3-4 on the season. Bieber has worked 91 innings. He's allowed 84 hits, 35 runs, 32 earned. He's walked 22 and struck out 93. And the first pitch of the ballgame was a fastball swung on and fouled away right back off the catcher, Sandy Leon. Riley Green acknowledges that he's fouled it off him to check on the veteran catcher. But Leon is okay, and he's good to go, and we're ready to keep on trucking. Here comes the second offering from Bieber. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-2 on the rookie Riley Green. Green missed the first couple of months of the season as he had injured himself right at the end of spring training. There was a strong likelihood that Green was going to make the team out of spring training, and he ended up fouling a ball off his foot. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the sixth hole into left field, and Green is aboard with a leadoff single here to start the first inning. That was a two-strike pitch. It was far too good from Shane Bieber, and Riley Green was able to get most of that. It was a breaking ball left right over the plate. He stayed inside the ball well, went the other way, and that is a base hit to start the game for Green, and it'll bring up the shortstop, Javier Baez. For Javi Baez, he's batting .209 on the season. He's got 7 homers and 27 runs batted in. Baez waiting on the first offering from Bieber, who checks the runner at first. He holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped back to the pitcher, Bieber, and over to second for one. Back to first. It's not in time. That is going to be a fielder's choice, as that is going to be retiring Green at second base, and Baez now becomes the runner at first. Just want to get the exact put out. I want to take a look at that and see if they're going to show that again. It looked like it was the second baseman who got over to the bag, Ernie Clement. So that is going to go down as a fielder's choice, a 1-4 for the first out of the inning, and that brings Robbie Grossman to the plate. For Grossman on the season, he's hitting .207. He's got a couple of homers and 18 runs batted in. Our friend Marcus says he thought that was going to be a double play. The unfortunate part about that, it was really the feed from the pitcher Bieber to second base, and then the way Clement had come to field the ball, it just didn't look right from the get-go. Normally, it's the shortstop who will cover the bag, but with the defensive shifts and different spots, makes you wonder sometimes how they get the coverages done. And then that first pitch was a strike taken by Grossman. Count is 0-1 to him. So Baez is the runner at first. He is a dangerous player on the base paths. He's only got 3 stolen bases this year, but he can wreak havoc. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. It gets away from Leon, the catcher, and down to second base goes Baez. It'll go down as a wild pitch. Leon really had no chance at that one as it bounced a good 3-4 feet in front of him. So Bieber is not sharp yet. Marcus says he agrees the shifts are the double-edged swords. Absolutely there. I totally agree. Our friend Barry Area Sports, I missed out on a couple of his. He was saying about how Riley Green always seems to get on the 0-2 count. It was an 0-2 count, but it was also that pitch to Green was just left right over the plate. You can see that Bieber doesn't really have command of his pitches quite yet. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed. The count goes to 1-2 on Grossman. Neither of the pitchers have found their groove yet. They do have a shift on here for Grossman as Ramirez is off the bag at third. You have to be cautious of Baez because if he gets a good jump, he can possibly outrun the third baseman to the bag. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to Rosario, who's to the right of second base. He dives and makes the play. He gets up, and his only play is going to be to Grossman, or to retire Grossman. It's going to go down as a ground out 6-3. That's going to be the second out of the inning. With that, Javi Baez has moved over to third. So Grossman will get pats on the back because that's a quality at bat. He was able to advance the runner with less than 2 out. And that'll leave it up to Miguel Cabrera, who is on a hot streak right now. Cabrera has batting .308 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 28 runs batted in. We saw the Tigers on Monday for the first game of the double dip. They're saying he's a bit of a shell of his former self. There's not a lot of power left in the game for Cabrera, and there's a breaking ball that misses down in the way, and the count is 1-0. But he is still a dangerous hitter. His bat-to-ball skills are extremely good. He just hasn't been able to have any juice in the bat. He may be struggling to hit double-digit home runs this year. Our friend Sauce Up Game is in the house. He is on Twitch joining us. We appreciate you for popping in. There is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Backing up just in front of the warning track is the right fielder, Kwan. He makes the catch. That is going to do it for the Tigers here in their half of the first inning. They threaten, but they don't score. They strand a runner at third. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was that 1 runner left on base. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Detroit Tigers nothing, the Cleveland Guardians nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second inning after this when we return. We appreciate you guys for being with us.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve, and we appreciate your support of the channel. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call of the top of the second inning. Glad you guys could stop in here with us today. Hold tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the Cleveland order to face the right-hander Michael Pineda, and the first pitch is delivered to Franmil Reyes, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It is Reyes, Miller, and Palacios here in the top of the second inning, and Pineda goes back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This is driven to deep right field, moving back onto the warning track, looking up, and this one is gone. A home run for Reyes going the other way. The fastball was elevated, and he was able to elevate it into the seats for the first run of the ball game for the Guardians. And the score is 1-0. Michael Pineda, so far, as we noted in the first inning, all of the outs were in the air, and that ball also was in the air as well. So that would be a concern for Pineda if he's leaving pitches up in the zone. Hitters are going to be popping it up or flying out, but there's going to be opportunity for balls to leave the park here today. The weather in Detroit being a little bit humid, maybe not as hot as it has been. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Owen Miller, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Miller. Miller on the season is batting .244. He's got 4 homers and 36 runs batted in. Pineda rocks in the motion, and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and is grounded foul down the third baseline. The count is now 0-2 to Miller. Miller getting an opportunity to play first base. To Josh Naylor, no real update on him yet. Haven't seen if they've thought about placing him on the disabled list. There's a breaking ball that is down and away, and the count is now 1-2 strikes to Miller. Josh Naylor, in the first game of the doubleheader on Monday, he tweaked himself at the plate. You can see when he finally got out of the game on a walk, he was holding his lower back. Weren't sure if it was muscular or if it was possibly a disc, because there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. So they probably have a couple of days to make a decision, but Miller is getting the reps at first base. So 2 strikes. Pineda rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2 to Miller. Miller has been productive this year for the Guardians. He really started off the season hot, but he's tapered off as of late as his batting average has cooled to .244. There was a really nice play by a man from Royal Oak, Michigan, to bring that one in on the foul ball by Miller. Now here's the fastball that's delivered, and it's taken for a called third strike at the knees. That one is going to have Miller return into the dugout as he watched that one go by for the first out of the inning. He pitched by Pineda, a 4-seam fastball that was right in on the inside corner. Miller stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by. And he is retired for out number 1, and that brings up the left fielder, Richie Palacios. And here's the first offering from Pineda. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Shotgun Shell is in the house. He says he's got the under at 7.5. And there is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. If Shotgun Shell is still with us, he's been in our Japanese streams. I don't know if you were in last weekend, but we finally got that Japanese cheerleader infomercial up. So hopefully you'll be in with us this weekend when we're calling the NPB games late night. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-0 to Palacios. Palacios is hitting .256 on the season. He's got no homers and 10 RBIs. He gets the nod in left field today. I had to do a double take because Stephen Kwan was in right field. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 3-1. Palacios had shown bunt, but he pulled back. Arnie Clement is waiting his turn on deck. There's a fastball that just misses down. I think Pineda was upset with himself, and that is going to be ball 4 for Palacios. That'll bring up the second baseman today, Ernie Clement. And we've got Steve Rademacher in the house today as we run Steve's infomercials in between innings. He is now in and listening, and he'll be taking your questions after the ball game today. We'll be doing a live Q&A with Steve Rademacher. It might end within about 2 questions. So here's Ernie Clement as he steps to the plate. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Shotgun Shell says, I knew you'd come through. Yeah, we had one done, and I've got another one I'm working on as well. And Pineda fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Palacios. Palacios establishes his lead. He's only got 1 stolen base on the season. Pineda now comes set at the belt. And here comes the 1-0 offering to Clement. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly to second. Over to the shortstop Baez for 1. Back to first, and it's not in time, as Clement has beaten that one out. That's going to go down as a fielder's choice. 4-6 to erase Palacios for the second out of the inning. We'll get the highlight on that one. The first base umpire said that Clement was safe, and we're going to have to agree. So he is aboard with a fielder's choice. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Sandy Leon. The umpires for today's game around the horn, it's Trip Gibson is doing the balls and strikes. Eric Backus is that first base umpire, made that great call there a moment ago. John Libka is at second base, and in the rocking chair, it is Chad Fairchild. So here comes the offering from Pineda. It's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Sandy Leon. Leon is batting .091. He's got no homers, no RBIs. But Leon did come in last night to pitch in the ball game last night, as the Tigers knocked off the Guardians 11-3. He came in the 7th inning. I was throwing muffins up to the plate. The Tigers hitters were screwing themselves into the ground. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1 on Leon. Leon was recently acquired from the Cincinnati Reds. It is his second tour with the Guardians organization. He did not appear in a major league game with the Reds. There is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Leon. Leon's familiarity with the Guardian pitching staff made it an easy reacquisition, as there's a number of players that he has caught in his time with the Guardian organization. But the concussion to Austin Hedges had kept him out of the game. Here's the 2-1. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sandy Leon. The runner at first is Ernie Clement. There is 2 away here in the second inning. The Guardians got on the board with a home run by Franmil Reyes. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2 to Sandy Leon. It was an opposite field blast that Pineda had left up in the zone. And Reyes was able to deposit his 7th homer of the year into the seats in right field. So here comes the 2-2 offering again to Leon. Pineda gets the sign from his catcher, Barnhart. He comes set. And now he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in on it is Robbie Grossman. He's got room. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for the Guardians in their half of the second inning. The Guardians get on the board. They had a run on 1 hit, the homer by Reyes. There were no errors and one runner left aboard. We are now through inning and a half. It is the Guardians 1, the Tigers nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the second in just a couple months. We're glad you guys could make it in here today, and we appreciate you all for listening in. Hang tight. We'll be right with you.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Jonathan Schoop, Willie Castro, and Cody Clemens to face Shane Bieber. Bieber was not sharp in his first inning of work, but he was able to wiggle his way out of the first inning. But usually, as these starters go, he will continue to improve, one would have to think. So it is going to be Schoop, Castro, and Clemens to face the right-hander Bieber. Schoop is batting .208 on the season. He's got 6 homers and 22 runs batted in. He bats from the right side against the right-handed Bieber, who against the sign from his catcher Leone goes to work. And the first pitch is a fastball swung, and this is lined to left field, and it's going to get down in front of Palacios. It's going to be a base hit for Schoop. Schoop has found the Guardians pitching exactly what he has wanted. It is probably something that he's been yearning for the entire season. And it's a tonic that he has needed. He's been batting below the 200 mark for most of the year, but he's raised his average entering today's contest to .208, swinging the bat much better. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Willie Castro. For Castro on the season, he's batting .266. He's got a couple of homers and 14 runs batted in. And he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'd be curious to see how the Tigers play this out. I say that because when we watch the Japanese games, they would typically nickel and dime. They'll be able to bunt the runner over and take a couple of cracks to get him in. There's a breaking ball. One ball and one strike. Castro. Sorry, it was Schoop who's at first. So 1 ball and 1 strike. to Willie Castro. And as I say, when we watch the Japanese games, this would be a bunt situation with the bottom part of the order coming up. And then they hope 2 cracks will bring them home. But the baseball, the way it's played in not just in North America, but also in Latin America, it's like a 3-run homer contest. They're trying to bang their way around the bases. And I think that's really where baseball in North America has become less interesting, less strategy, more pitching, more hitting, and all the intricacies that can win and lose ball games are lost. In the middle of that, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. I've mentioned this a few times on some of our other streams. Kevin Barker, who used to play with the Toronto Blue Jays organization, I believe it was with the Brewers and a couple other teams, sometimes works the studio for the Blue Jays. At the beginning of the year, he was talking about how it's going to be a 4-horse race in the American League East. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. And his thoughts were that there wasn't a lot to pick between the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. And what he felt it was going to come down to, it was going to be the things that you don't see in the box score that will win or lose games. Whether it be missing a cutoff man, whether it be failing to execute a sacrifice bunt, whether it be messing up a rundown that ends up costing you a run and you lose the game by a run. There's a fastball that has swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Scope was on the move on that one there, and he's going to have to return to first base. Our friend Marcus says lazy teams, they just want to hit home runs or bust. And, you know, the Tigers would be a team that sort of fits into that category, and it's unfortunate to say that, especially where they're at, because you've got the Miguel Cabrera, who's in the twilight of his career. He's going to be going to the Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of when he retires and the 5-year waiting period after that he'll be enshrined in the Hall. And there's another offering, and it is a fastball swung on. It is fouled away. Scope was on the move again. He's going to have to come back again as Castro had fouled that one off. Or maybe he's not. We're going to see what happened. Trip Gibson, who's the home plate umpire, was signaling foul tip. Willie Castro was walking back to the dugout. But it looks like that Scope is going to get himself a stolen base there. We're going to see that one again. The pitch was swung on and missed. It was tipped into the glove of the catcher, but then Leon lost it on the transfer. So I'm wondering if the Guardians might have a look at that. But they're not going to do it. No, it was. So it was foul tipped and caught, but they felt it was on the transfer. And because it was on the transfer, that is going to allow the stolen base to hold up there for Scope. So Castro is gone for out number 1. That brings Cody Clemens to the plate. Clemens is batting .152. He's got a couple of homers and 6 RBIs, and he swings at the first pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit right at Ernie Clement. It is stopped by Clement. It goes up into the air into shallow right field, and that is going to allow the base runner Scope to score all the way from second. It's got to be ruled a single. That ball was absolutely blistered by Clemens. It was down on the backhand side where Clement dropped to his knees to try to field it. It went off his wrist and it went straight up into the air. And then ended up landing in shallow right field where Stephen Kwan picked it up. Jonathan Scope comes all the way around from second to score. And they have now knotted the game up at 1 with Clemens standing at first base. That is ruled a base hit. The Tigers have now equaled the score at 1-1, and that brings Spencer Torkelson to the plate. For Torkelson, he's batting .192 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 19 RBIs. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Torkelson is appearing in his 73rd game. He is 1 for 7 in the series. He's got an RBI. Got the day off on the first game of the doubleheader on Monday. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs for Bieber, and the count is now 2-0. Back talking about those teams, we were saying a couple moments ago that the little things that'll make the difference, the execution, the base running, being able to take those extra bases, all those little things will play out for the teams in the American League East. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed by Torkelson, and the count goes to 2-1. And with all of that in mind, when I think about all the little things, who will end up getting it done in the end, it's probably the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays seem to be able to get wine from raisins every single year. Their team, I don't know how they do it when I look up and down that batting order, but they continually grind it out. They get the most out of their pitching, and I don't even know if they have the most in the league, that's for sure. There's a pickoff attempt of Clemens at first base, but he dives back in safely. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Torkelson. The runner at first is Clemens. There is 1 away here in the second inning. The Tigers have a run on the board. It's all even at ones now with the Guardians. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 or 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Torkelson. Right now, when I watch Torkelson against Bieber, it's like men against boys. But Torkelson is an advanced bat. I would have to say that he'd have to compare, in my opinion, to Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn was one of the top picks by the Chicago White Sox, and there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And Torkelson has gone on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Tucker Barnhart. Andrew Vaughn started off slowly, but he's really hit his stride this year for the White Sox. From what I understand, it was the White Sox who had offered Andrew Vaughn straight up for Sean Manaea, the pitcher of the Oakland A's. Or it was possibly Manaea, or was it Montez? One or the other, before the season had started. Well, I think if it was for Frankie Montez, I think that Oakland might want to make that phone call, but I don't think that the White Sox are picking up the phone. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Barnhart that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Andrew Vaughn is having a very solid season for the White Sox, but I put him in the Torkelson in a similar type of boat progressively. Be interesting to see where Torkelson is in a couple of years' time. And there's a breaking ball that's down in the dirt. And the third base umpire goes up with the right hand saying it is a strike. So that is going to now run the count to 0-2 on Barnhart. It is Chad Fairchild who is in that rocking chair position as the third base umpire. We say it's the rocking chair position because that's where they rotate the day after they do home plate. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. When I saw Bieber pitch last week, the thing that I really reminded me, or what stood out for Bieber, is just how much he relied on his breaking ball. I'm really surprised by that. I would have thought he would have done a better job of attacking the hitters earlier in the game. He really breaks out his off-speed stuff early. So here comes the 1-2 offering to Barnhart. It's a breaking ball that misses down. Off to second goes the runner, Clemens, and he's going to get into second with a stolen base. That is going to be Cody Clemens' first stolen base of his career. It's the second of the inning. And the Tigers have a runner in scoring position with 2 away here, and it's a 2-2 count on Barnhart. That is something that the Tigers are not known for right now, being able to steal bases. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clemens is the runner at second. The batter at the plate is Barnhart with a 2-2 count. The Tigers are looking to take the lead here with 1 swing of the bat. And here comes the pitch from Bieber. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. We were saying about the Tigers not running very well. They're a team that is not a very athletic team. The players today in the lineup that have the most stolen bases, there's 3 players, Baez, Grossman, and Scope, all had 3 entering the game today. Scope, of course, stole a base earlier in the inning, which gives him 4 on the season now. When you think of the Mariners yesterday with Julio Rodriguez stole his 21st base, there's a fastball swung on. It is lined into center field. It is fielded by the center fielder, Straw, he throws to the plate, and that ball is not going to be in time. Here comes the throw from Leone down to second, and Barnhart's going to cruise himself into second. That is an RBI single for Tucker Barnhart. The throw from the center fielder Straw was up the third baseline. Leone had to come up and get it, and then he had fielded it and tried to gun down the batter runner Barnhart at second base, and that throw almost ended up in right center field. But Barnhart will get himself a single. He'll go to second on the throw. It's an RBI. And the Tigers have taken a 2-1 lead over the Guardians, and that'll bring up the top of the order, Riley Green. So some excitement in the Motor City for those few in attendance who've come to watch that game today between the Tigers and the Guardians. And the first pitch to Green is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. The Guardians are only one game above 500 right now. This 3-game stretch here against Detroit where the Tigers have pretty much unexpectedly won 3 in a row. It's not been the way for the Tigers against the Guardians over the last number of years. The Guardians have had their way with the Tigers. There is a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to first. Fielded by Miller. He flips it to Bieber covering. That is going to retire Riley Green on a ground out 3-1 for the third out of the inning. But there has been damage done here in the inning for the Tigers. The Tigers get a couple of runs back. They got 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Tigers 2, the Guardians 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us. Here is one of our Did You Knows, and happens to be about Shane Bieber. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the top of the third inning. It's going to be Miles Straw, Stephen Kwan, and Ahmed Rosario. That's the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. Our friend Barry Area EA Sports says, why can't Cleveland do this? Do something. I can already see a 3-up, 3-down inning coming. I have to say, I don't know if I really like the batting order that they've rolled out today or the guys that are in the lineup for the Guardians. Richie Palacios is getting the start in left field. Ernie Clement at second. It means Jimenez is sitting down. I guess you got to give Jimenez the opportunity to have a seat at some point. You know, maybe this was the day. Not that Hedges or Leone is much better. Austin Hedges, of course, out with the concussion right now, being out of the lineup. As there's a first pitch fastball delivered to Miles Straw, taken for a called strike. But Miles Straw in the ball game here, he's another fellow that I've watched over the last week or so. And, of course, this is probably where we help him out. I almost think that Straw needs to be sat down a little bit, give him a rest or something. He looks like he's really struggling at the plate. As a breaking ball misses down and in, the count is 1-1. Straw's batting 194 on this season. He's got no homers and 10 RBIs. I do like a lot of aspects of Miles Straw. I like the way that he runs. I like the way he runs the bases. There's a fastball swung on it. It's lifted down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats just beyond the netting. Out of the outstretched arms of Willie Castro. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Straw. Our friend Troy in here, he says the Tigers are showing signs of light as of late, and probably a little too late in the season. Yeah, they've got to get off to better starts, the Tigers do, if they're going to start to do some damage. It's always hard to come from behind, and there's a breaking ball swung on it, is grounded over to short, is fielded neatly by the shortstop Baez, who throws to first, and that's going to retire the speedy Straw on a ground out 6-3. That'll bring up the top of the order, Stephen Kwan. Troy said, even though the Nationals were 29-51 when they won the World Series, it's very improbable that the Tigers can still make the playoffs. Yeah, you don't have the pitching staff that the Nationals had. The Nationals had a staff there that was pretty solid. Obviously, Max Scherzer and Patrick Corbin having a career year. There's a breaking ball that missed outside for ball 1. Steven Strasburg. They also had the other former Tiger, Anibal Sanchez, all producing very well for them at that time. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kwan. Kwan is a very disciplined hitter. He's batting .268 on the season with a homer and 20 RBIs. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-1. I've talked about this in some of our other streams. We talk about players who walk more than they strike out. And Stephen Kwan is one of those in that category. He's got 29 walks and 23 strikeouts on the season. Not too many players have that in their repertoire. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-1 to Kwan. I was looking at it the other day. I think there's about 5 or 6 players that we would have qualified or regular at bats that fit into that category. And Kwan is one for sure. And there is a fastball that misses outside, and he's got himself a base on balls, and that will bring up the shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. Players in recent time that really come to mind that are like that, of course, Barry Bonds was a guy who used to walk more than he would strike out in seasons. And some of it was because of the amount of intentional walks that he would get. But other players that fit that category in recent years would be Buster Posey, the recently retired Buster Posey. And Joey Votto was like that for years, many years, when he was at the top of his game. So Rosario steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. He has popped to second his first time up. The first offering is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the first base line. It's going to reach the seats about 20 rows back. But the other player that comes to mind right now that walks more than he strikes out is Juan Soto. Soto is one of those guys right now that comes to the plate and he gets more walks than strikeouts, although Soto is having a bit of a tough season this year. I don't know if this is breaking news, but for the Cleveland fans out here, it looks like Baker Mayfield has been traded to the Carolina Panthers in football news. So interesting that Mayfield is going to be a Panther cornerback. He's got a new home. I would have thought he might have landed on the West Coast, possibly with Seattle, as Russell Wilson's got a new home in Denver. There you have it. If that is breaking news, then we just let you know that Baker Mayfield is now a Panther. So here comes the 0-1 offering, but instead Pineda throws it over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kwan. When I think of other players, you go back over time where guys used to walk more and they struck out. You could go back into the 80s. There used to be all kinds of those guys. One of those players that comes to my mind is Rich Dower, Baltimore Orioles second base, longtime Orioles second base. Breaking ball that misses down in the dirt, and the count is 1-1 to Rosario. Dower was one of those kind of guys that used to walk more than he struck out on a regular basis. In fact, I believe off the top of my head, for a career, he walked more than he struck out. Another one of the players right now in Major League Baseball would be Alex Bregman. He's barely above that mark. He's almost 50-50, 46 walks, 45 strikeouts. Yandy Diaz for the Tampa Bay Rays, another disciplined hitter, 45 walks, 30 strikeouts. So the count is 1-1 on Rosario as Pineda's been playing catch with the first baseman Torkelson, keeping the runner close. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted into the seats foul over on the first base side. The count is 1-2 to Rosario. When you go down the numbers, it is tough. We saw one yesterday in Carlos Santana, the recently acquired Seattle Mariner first baseman who they got from the Royals. Definitely fits that category. DJ LeMayo of the Yankees is another one that's similar to Bregman. He's got 39 walks, 38 strikeouts on the year. Of course, another one in the Cleveland lineup is Jose Ramirez. There's a breaking ball that swung on. It is grounded over to the shortstop Baez. He steps on second himself. He throws to first, and there is an inning-ending double play. That's going to be a 6-3 variety as Baez takes it himself to retire the Guardians here in their half of the third. Our friend from the Bay Area EA Sports was calling it. He said he could feel the 1-2-3 inning coming, but it was an unconventional one. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. The walk by Kwan was erased in the double play. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. It is the Guardians trailing the Tigers 2-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate y'all being here with us. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching Last Reps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Reps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving to the bottom half of the third inning. Our friend Troy says, I wonder if Watson will end up playing for them or not. Interesting questions. Obviously, the NFL season, the training camps are just around the corner here as they're ready to get things back underway. It is that time of the year. It's hard to believe that we're in July already. And we're starting to talk football or thinking that football is going to be brought up. It's going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the Tiger order. It's going to be Javi Baez, Robbie Grossman, and Miguel Cabrera. To face the right-hander Shane Bieber, the Tigers took the lead in the second inning. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Baez. Baez today is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And here comes the offering from Bieber. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. I've watched the Tigers a few times this year, and Baez absolutely swings at that pitch that is a breaking ball down in the dirt in a way that's moving away. It's almost like a slider. He just cannot hold off, and there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed almost in the same location, and he is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. I can only imagine that the phrase in the hitting coach's mind is going to be make an adjustment at the plate. And the ability to be able to lay off that pitch on a veteran hitter is what is going to be the separator. And if he can learn to be able to do some of that stuff, he would be much more accomplished hitter at the plate, I think. But because he is that undisciplined, that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. That is why he strikes out way more than he should. The first pitch to Robbie Grossman is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Robbie Grossman in particular, this is the opposite end. Grossman was one of those guys where you're talking about where they can walk more than they strike out. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 to Grossman. Well, last year he did strike out 155 times, but he walked 98 times last year. And Grossman himself needs to cut down on some of the strikeouts, but he does have some pretty good plate discipline. And there's another exhibit of it. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Grossman. Grossman had a career year last year for the Tigers, even though he batted .239, which was off his career mark of .247. He had 23 homers and 20 stolen bases. He was a 20-20 man for Detroit. Bieber gets the sign from his catcher, and now he rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and the count now is 2-2. Grossman began his career in the Houston organization. He moved to Minnesota and then spent a couple of seasons in Oakland. He was the right guy at the right time for Detroit. Gave them some solid play last year. He's in the final year of a 2-year deal with the Tigers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 3-2. I just don't know if I can see the Tigers justify bringing Grossman back next year. They really have to find out what's going to happen with Victor Reyes. Reyes needs to play every day. You've got Austin Meadows. You've got Riley Green. And the way the Castros have been playing this year, you got to find a spot for them. There's a breaking ball that is down in the dirt. Grossman swings and misses at that, and he is gone for out number 2. That is the 4th strikeout of the afternoon now for Shane Bieber. He is starting to heat up as he has retired 3 in a row now, and it'll bring up the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera. So for Cabrera, he is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to deep right field his first time up. Cabrera is batting .307 on the season, 3 homers and 28 RBIs. We were saying that the Guardians were the right tonic for Cabrera as well, just as he is for Scope. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. One thing that makes Bieber, I think, effective is his breaking ball. It almost comes in at the same speed as his fastball. There's not much variance. There's a breaking ball there that misses up and in, and the count is 2-0 now. That was probably one of the softer pitches that we've seen. It was at 83 miles an hour. But his fastballs really don't get much more than 91. And some of his breaking balls will jump in there at 86, 87, 88 miles an hour. Usually you look for about a 10-mile difference in the fastballs and the off-speed pitches, but his off-speed breaking balls are about the same. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. There's Bieber back to work again. There's a breaking ball that misses down, but Cabrera offered at the pitch. Trip Gibson said so. Runs the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cabrera. Bieber gets the sign from his catcher, Leone. He rocks into the motion, and there's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded softly to short. It's backhanded by Rosario. He fires across the diamond, and Cabrera is gone on a ground out 6-3, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 3rd inning. So they go quietly. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through 3 complete in Detroit. It is the Tigers 2, the Guardians 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. On the top of the 4th inning, we're glad you guys could all make it in here today. Hang tight. We'll see you in just a minute.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Let's go. Yo. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the fourth inning, and that means it's going to be Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes, and Owen Miller to face the right-hander Michael Pineda. Our friend Troy says, I hope Pineda can hold these guys down. Troy is obviously a Tiger fan in the chat, and he is probably got the pom-poms going. Pineda is definitely going to be needed for the Tigers to have some success down the stretch. Looked like he was off to a good start with them until he had that comebacker that broke his finger on the throwing hand, put him out for about 6 weeks. And so he has a shot to the arm. It'll be interesting, too, if the Tigers decide to put Tyler Alexander into the rotation. There's a first pitch fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Tigers are going to get some help. They say Matt Manning is less than a couple of weeks away. So their rotation is going to start to get some help as the young guys like Bo Brisky and Garrett Hill have come up and been a boon for them here as they've been steadying the ship while they're waiting for others to get healthy. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 to Ramirez. Pineda goes back to work. He rocks in the motion, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. The Guardians, on the other side of the coin, they, to me, are a pitching-rich organization. You can look at their lineup there, and they just continue to roll out arms. And when they send somebody out or they trade somebody like they did Mike Clevenger or got rid of the Trevor Bauer a couple of years ago, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep right field, and Willie Castro's battling a little bit, and he backpedals and makes the catch. And that is going to retire Ramirez. That ball just kept on carrying off the bat of Ramirez. Castro looked like it was going to be routine, and the next thing you know, he's doing the moonwalk backwards onto the warning track to have to catch it. But he did make the out for out number one, but it was a bit of an adventure out there for Willie. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. So Reyes waggles the bat, and Pineda rocks into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. And again, Willie Castro going back, and he has to leap and make the catch. They always say that the magnet is where you're going to see the ball go to. The ball finds the magnet. And the magnet right now is Willie Castro because he's made two entertaining plays in the outfield, and it's not entertaining for Detroit. Be entertaining for Cleveland as those balls almost got down. So 2 away here in the fourth, and that's going to bring up Owen Miller. Our friend Bay Area EA Sports says home run or bust. Just get on base. We need runners. Absolutely. This is a lineup here. The bottom part of the batting order for the Guardians needs to find a way to scratch and claw their way on. There's a fastball that's delivered to Miller, and it is missing upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Again, living dangerously up in the zone again. That's how the first inning started. All 3 balls were retired on either pop fly or fly ball outs. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0 to Miller. So far in the ball game, there have been 6 fly ball outs recorded versus 3 ground ball outs. Of course, the rest have been via the strikeout. And there is a fastball that misses, and the count now is 3 balls and no strikes. So 3-0 to Miller. Miller getting the odd, as we said, at first base today again, as Josh Naylor not back in the lineup yet. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. Even Michael Pineda, in some ways, is a shell of his former self. He's a big fella, and he is in the twilight of his career. Here comes the 3-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over on the first base side. Racing over is Spencer Torkelson, but it's going to fall into the dugout. He reached in, but he just couldn't grab it. Just a little bit out of his reach. He had a beat on it. He extended, but he ran into the fence, and of course, you're not getting any love from the Guardian dugout on the first base side there. And the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Miller. There's 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Pineda looking to finish Miller off here. Here comes the pitch, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it is going to hook foul. He put a charge into that one, did Miller. And is just going to keep the count at 3-2. Miller has some juice in the bat. He's got 4 home runs this year. He's getting, as we said, the opportunity to start at first base in the absence of Josh Naylor today. So here we go. Here comes the 3-2 offering. There is a fastball swung on it. It is grounded to short. Baez fields it. He spins, turns, and throws on the run. It's going to take Torkelson off the bag. That is going to be probably an infield hit. I don't know even if Baez fields it properly that he was going to be able to get Miller. He had to really range to his left up the middle. And then he does a spinorama to throw over to first base. And it's not in time. We'll see what the official scorer has to say on that one. I think it's a base hit. And that's exactly what it is. They're going to give him a single. So Miller gets an infield hit, and that brings up Richie Palacios to the plate. Palacios, he walked his first time up, and he was erased on a fielder's choice. And here comes the first pitch from Pineda. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. I will say this about Pineda versus Bieber. Pineda is missing spots. That last pitch was down and in. The catcher, Barnhart, was set up on the outside part of the plate. So here comes the 1-0 from Pineda, and instead he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner, Miller. Miller has 1 stolen base on the year. The Guardians are a team that can run. They've got Straw and Ramirez in double digits. Ahmed Rosario has got 9. They have some other players who can get around the base paths as well, but nobody that is approaching the double-digit mark yet. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Palacios. Pineda is now into the going to be offering his 63rd pitch. Be interesting to see how long the Tigers will keep the big right-hander in the ball game. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul right at home plate, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. Pineda coming off that disabled list trip. We'll see where they've got him at. I would hazard a guess maybe 80 to 85. Normally the big fella probably would rush up to over 100 pitches, be good for anywhere from 95 to 105. We'll see what kind of leash that A.J. Hinch has on him today. Here comes the 1-2 offering, but instead Pineda steps off. He reaches down, grabs a handful of dirt, and they're going to recycle through the signs here again. So 1-2, and again Pineda steps off, and again he signals that he wants the signs recycled. So he checks the runner at first, and now he comes set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field. Drifting over to his right is Riley Green. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it, as Palacios is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. The Guardians had a runner. There was no runs and a hit by Owen Miller. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is Detroit 2, Cleveland 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call. At the bottom of the 4th inning, we're glad you guys could be out here with us today. Some afternoon baseball from Detroit. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Matt Hollis. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up to bat for the Tigers in the bottom of the fourth. It's Jonathan Schoop, Willie Castro, and Cody Clemens to face the right-hander Shane Bieber. There was a transaction before the game for the Tigers. The Tigers yesterday sent down reliever Will Vest, only to bring him back up today. That was a short-lived venture down to Toledo. They placed Willie Peralta on the disabled list. Peralta was having a fantastic year for the Tigers out of the bullpen, but he has got a hamstring issue, and so Willie is going to be placed on the 10-day DL. And there's the first pitch breaking ball offered to Jonathan Schoop. It misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. As we mentioned, we're keeping an eye out for the Guardians are going to do with Josh Naylor, as he's not in the lineup. They can always put him on the disabled list retroactive if they had to. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 1-1 on Schoop. Schoop today is 1 for 1. He singled and scored a run back in the second inning. He's also got a stolen base today. Here comes the 1-1 from Bieber. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left center field. Racing in on it is Palacios, and he makes the catch. A little bit of confusion there with his center fielder, Miles Straw. But they were able to put that one away, and that is going to retire Schoop on a fly ball to left field, and that'll bring up Willie Castro. So speaking of confusion in the outfield, Willie Castro had his adventure in the top half of this inning. A couple of fly balls that were not necessarily routine. Transactions yesterday, the Guardians optioned Connor Pilkington back to Columbus. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1 to Willie Castro. The Guardians had recalled Nick Sandlin from Columbus, and they had optioned Alex Young back to the Columbus Clippers. So here comes the one-strike pitch to Castro. That's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. But as we said, Naylor has not played since the first game of the doubleheader on Monday. We'll keep our eye to see if it's just a back strain or a muscle strain, or if he will have to go on that DL. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line. Coming hard is Palacios, and he's going to make the catch. He had to come a long way. That ball, Castro had popped it up. He was a little slow getting out of the batter's box, and then he took off. The ball was kind of hitting no man's land. The third baseman, Ramirez, would have been a difficult play for him. The shortstop, Rosario, was racing over, but Palacios was able to come in and make the grab, and Willie Castro is retired for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Cody Clemens. For Clemens, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled and scored a run. He also stole a base and knocked in a run his first time up. A lot of action there for Clemens. There's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 1-0. Clemens has raised his average to 170. He's got a couple of hits in this series. He is 2 for 6. And here comes the offering from Bieber. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Clemens is the son of the legend Roger Clemens. We say legend because he was one of the greatest pitchers of his era. There's a breaking ball swung on, and that is fouled away, and the count is now 1-2. Clemens, most people will remember him in his early years with the Boston Red Sox. Of course, he also pitched with the Toronto Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Houston Astros. Fine career for the Rocket. The doors to Cooperstown, however, are locked to Roger Clemens. It could be a debate that we can have ad nauseum whether or not he should be there or not. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. Based only on his statistics and because of his era, yes, indeed, he does belong. There are a lot of people who will say he doesn't belong because of the steroid use. But that's a topic for another day. I think a lot of those cases, it's not just Clemens, but there's others that were playing at that time. And because a lot of those players were doing it or they weren't caught, there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded back to the pitcher. Bieber fields it. He flips it underhand over to first. And Clemens is going to be retired on a ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning. And again, the Tigers go quietly. That is now 7 in a row retired by Bieber. They had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 4 complete in Detroit. It is the Tigers 2, the Guardians 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 5th inning after this. Glad you guys could be here with us today. It's been a lot of fun being able to call a stretch of games like this, and we're going to be doing some more here in the next couple of days. We'll be adding to our schedule here a little later today. Hang tight, everybody. Here's Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out for all your entertainment needs. He's got Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. He has got the Saturday morning cartoons and the Sunday shoutouts. We are waiting for his Whiskey Wednesdays to take place, but there is no imminent timeline for that. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call. Welcome back, everybody. We are here in the top of the 5th inning. It is Ernie Clement to face the right-hander Michael Pineda, who kicks and delivers a breaking ball that misses down. The first pitch was a fastball that was taken for a called strike, so the count is actually 1-1 to Ernie Clement. So we joined there after missing the first one. Clement today is 0 for 1. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. And he swings at a fastball. He lines it in the right field. It's going to get down on one hop to Willie Castro. And Clement is aboard with a base hit. Our friend Troy said that people are in the Hall of Fame who are on roids, so that's kind of pick and choose. You're absolutely right. There is a few players that come to my mind that have had some questionable pasts, even though he was a Tiger and a Ranger and a Marlin and others. Pudge Rodriguez would be one of those players that comes to mind. There was talk about him, and there was a lengthy piece that he at one point was one of those guys. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. But, again, it's, rumors and innuendo. I was having a conversation about this the other day, and we were saying, why is David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame? He was named in the Mitchell report. Again, he is a media darling, whereas Roger Clemens is not. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, but instead Pineda throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Ernie Clement. So, Clemens, obviously not a popular person with the media, but David Ortiz always smiling. Another guy that might get in, but I don't think he should, is Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz, another one. He was suspended for drug use. I believe that was one of his time with Baltimore. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-1. But Nelson Cruz, for the most part, other than that, has really kept his head down as a player. Many seasons with the Texas Rangers, the Orioles, time with the Mariners, and now he's with the Rays after spending a cup of coffee with the Twins. And here comes the pitch. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2 to Sandy Leon. Leon is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to left field his first time up. Leon bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Pineda. So the right-handed pitcher Pineda comes set at the belt, and now he delivers the 1-2 offering to Leon. It's a fastball that misses down in it, and the count is 2-2. I always remember there was a coach back east. He was with the Canadian National Program, and we're talking about the steroids, and he had said at the time, he says, you've got to be able to still be able to hit the baseball. Steroids don't help you hit the baseball. Steroids help you put the ball over the fence. You have to think about that for a minute, because he's right. The bat-to-ball skills don't improve by taking the drug. It's the physical strength, but also the recovery process. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down in front of right fielder Castro. It is going to be back-to-back hits here for the Guardians in their half of the fifth inning. They've got something brewing here with Clement at second and Leon at first. That is going to bring Miles Straw to the plate. They're just doing a statistic, and I don't know how you always want to look at this, because you have to take it in tongue-in-cheek with guys who are openers. But the Detroit Tigers have used 14 starting pitchers this year, different starting pitchers, the most in Major League Baseball. And as I said, you take it with tongue-in-cheek, because when you think about it, the Tampa Bay Rays will use an opener, and with runners at first and second, the first offering to Miles Straw is a breaking ball that he squared to bunt at, but he pulled back. And the pitch misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0. I would think that Straw here is definitely a bunt candidate with his 193 batting average and his wheels. So the runner at second is Clement. The runner at first is Leon. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on his grounder right up the middle. And stepping on second base is Baez, and over to first. Couldn't ask for it any better. Baez was basically standing right on top of second base. He actually took a look and thought about going to third to get the lead runner, Clement. But that is going to retire Straw. It's going to be a double play 6-3. That's the second time today that Baez has had a double play 6-3. He got Ahmed Rosario back in the third inning. But that retires Leon at second, and then it gets Straw on the backside. It's going to advance Clement to third. That's going to bring Stephen Kwan to the plate. So for Stephen Kwan today, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field in the first inning, and he walked back in the third. Holding at the belt is Pineda. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Troy says that Javi Baez has improved the double plays a ton. Yeah, that's the one positive for sure. He has definitely been fantastic in the middle infield for Detroit. Last year, the infield play, the way they were turning double plays, was very stagnant. And there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Stephen Kwan hitting .268 on the season. And here comes the 1-1 offering from Pineda. Again, Barnhart are at times not always on the same page. There's a lot of delays and step-offs. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. One would think that Pineda would like to get himself out of this inning here. They do have action in the Tiger bullpen. It is Alex Lang up and throwing. And we would expect that probably this will be the end of the leash for Pineda today. As we said at the outset, I thought maybe 80 to 85 pitches would be his maximum. He's at 77 right now. So here comes the pitch to Kwan. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're playing Kwan straight away in the outfield, but they are shading him to left center field. Center fielder Riley Green is shading that direction. The infield is as much as straight up as you could expect. Here's the 2-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on. This is grounded down the left field line. It is going to be a base hit. Grossman comes over to field it. Digging for second is Kwan. He's going to get in there safely, and he's got himself an RBI. As Ernie Clement has come home on a 2-out double by Kwan. The Guardians have evened the score at 2-2. So Clement is in, Kwan is in scoring position, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. One would have to think that this might be the last batter here for Pineda, as Jose Ramirez waits on deck. Rosario steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. He is grounded to short, and he is popped to second. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. How much gas does Pineda have left in the tank? Well, the Tigers brass doesn't think he's got a whole lot left, as we said, with Lang heating in the pen. So here comes the 1-0 offering to Rosario. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosario can run a little bit. He's going to be a tough guy to be able to get out on the infield on a ground ball, as they're going to have to hurry. He gets down the line really well. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Pineda delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base line. That's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, Alex Lang is kind of slowed it up now in the Tiger pen. It looks like he's ready to come in if needed. If he has to come in and face Jose Ramirez. Ramirez, of course, is a switch hitter, so it wouldn't be any difference. He'd be hitting from the left side as he's done all afternoon to this point. So here comes the 1-2. Pineda holds at the belt, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is swung out and missed. And that is going to do it here for the Guardians in their half of the 5th inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 run in the inning on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 4.5. It is the Tigers 2, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. And we'll be right back after this from our friend Steve again.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Straps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie in Last Straps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Straps Baseball.
Your support of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go check him out We'll be back in about 30 seconds with the call after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Tiger lineup to face Shane Bieber. And the first pitch is a fastball that comes inside for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson, Barnhart in the top of the order, Riley Green here to face Bieber in the bottom of the 5th. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is looped into shallow left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Torkelson is aboard with a leadoff single. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Tucker Barnhart. So for Barnhart on the day, he is 1 for 1. He singled and drove home a run back in the Tigers' second inning when they put up the crooked number of 2. So he is coming to the plate. Bieber had retired 7 in a row there before the base hit by Torkelson. He had really started to settle in. So Barnhart striding to the plate. He is now hitting .221 on the season. The switch hitting catcher. Had the night off last night as Eric Haas got the start. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Only 57 pitches through the first 4 innings for Bieber. He's got a lot left in the tank here, one would think. Our friend Troy says, I can't believe that Torque got on. He's been pretty bad this year. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and I said about Spencer Torkelson and comparing him to Andrew Vaughn. And where Vaughn is at in his development, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. In some ways, the difference between Vaughn and Torkelson is that Vaughn had that other year of opportunity to play in the minor leagues. As far as I'm concerned, Torkelson, the one positive that you can see is that his strikeout rate, even though he has struck out, his strikeout rate is down, but his swing and miss rate is actually quite palatable. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2. So it'll be interesting to see how he is. I like his bat path. I like the way that he swings. I do like the way that he swings inside the ball. So his approach at the plate is something to be taken care of. I think that the other thing is that you watch and see Torkelson will probably hit about 270 or 280 in the months of July and August. He'll end up pulling his average up into the low 220s, 230s. I can see by the end of the year, he's probably going to hit about 220, 230 for a rookie campaign, which is not all that bad. There's a breaking ball, misses down in the dirt. And I say not all that bad, all things considered, because of where he started. I think next year it will be the building block year, how he adjusts and adjusts back with a year of Major League Baseball under his belt. The more I get a chance to see him, the more that you can see why the Tigers drafted him. Will he be the best player ever in the game? Probably not, but I can see probably what will end up happening is he's going to be the kind of guy that's going to look like he'll be a higher end Jeff Burrows. If he can do that, that would work out pretty good, because Burrows years ago was a number 1 pick in the draft. And there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Barnhart, and the Tigers have the first 2 hitters aboard here after the walk to Barnhart. So the runner at first is Barnhart. The runner at second is Torkelson. And Riley Green steps to the plate in the top of the order. So Green today is 1 for 2. He has singled and he has grounded out. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Troy says, I really don't care about his average, only his home runs. The problem with Detroit is the ballpark that they play in. I mean, when Cabrera hit home runs, he would hit them out at any park. The problem in Detroit is they've built a team in a ballpark that's now 22 years old. As a breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2 to Green. It is not a homer-friendly park. Our friend Bay Area EA Sports says, here we go again. You get one run back, and now they're going to give up 3. There's a breaking ball that's down, but Trip Gibson has pointed that Riley Green has gone after it. He is going to be gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. Is going to retire Green for out number 1, and that'll bring up Javi Baez. And so here comes the feast or famine. This is either going to be a 3-run shot, we'll call it now, or it's going to be a strikeout, because Baez against Bieber the last time struck out on 3 pitches. And it was pretty wildly that he had struck out on those pitches. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. So Baez waiting on the offering here from Bieber, who comes set at the belt. The runner at second is Torkelson. The runner at first is Barnhart. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Rounding third and heading home is Torkelson. He's going to score. The throw is going to come into second base. And that Javi Baez has delivered with a RBI single here in the 5th. And that is going to advance Barnhart over to second. Torkelson has scored the run. But the Tigers up 3-2. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Robbie Grossman. Our friend Bay Area Sports not happy. And that's the way it's kind of shaping up right now for the Guardians in this series. Look at this series, and it has been all Detroit. And it's kind of disappointing because you think of the Sunday game, I believe it was the Sunday game where Tristan McKenzie was absolutely lights out at Yankee Stadium, one hitting the Yankees through 7, getting relief help from Eli Morgan and Emmanuel Clase to close it out and beat the Yankees 1-0, and you figure they got momentum coming into Detroit. They haven't been able to figure it out. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Grossman. And the Bay Area EA Sports says this Detroit team owns Cleveland, and it's not been the case for the last 5 or 6 years. The Guardians have simply had the Tigers number year in and year out. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is tapped slowly over to second. It is fielded by Clement. His only play is to first base. And Grossman is going to be retired on a ground out 4-3. Both of the runners will advance. Barnhart is now the runner at third. Baez has advanced to second. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera. For Cabrera today, he is 0 for 2. He has flown out to right and he's grounded to short. His average on the season has dipped down to 306. He has swung the bat well over the last couple of weeks, raising his average up, but there's been no power to go with it. Only 3 homers on the season for Miggy. So Bieber with 2 away here and 2 on faces who once was one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball. He can still put the bat on the ball, though. His bat-to-ball skills are still pretty solid. And here comes the first offering from Bieber. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Jonathan Scope is on deck, and he has absolutely eaten up the Guardians in this series. So pick your poison right now with the hitters at bat and coming up to bat in the on-deck circle. So here comes the 1-ball and no strike pitch to Cabrera. Holding at the belt is Bieber, and he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The Tigers are making noise here as the Guardians had their chances to cash a couple of more runs in, but they haven't been able to do it. The Tigers are looking for the second crooked number of the ball game, and there's a fastball swung on. It is lined into right field past the diving Ernie Clement. It is fielded by Kwan. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's in time, but it gets away from the catcher Leon, and it goes all the way to the backstop. Miguel Cabrera has a base hit single and a couple of RBIs. He's going to advance on the throw to home plate. And Baez scores and Barnhart scores, and the score is now 5-2 for the Tigers here in the 5th inning. Almost forgot about that run that the Guardians scored in the top half. It's been the Guardians will score and the Tigers come right back with more than one of their own. The throw was definitely in time. Sandy Leon had a hard time with it. The ball had hit the dirt, stayed down, and got under his glove. And now that brings up Jonathan Scope to the plate with Cabrera on at second. Our friend Troy says Miggy's been doing it all year. Our friend Bay Area Sports says he's out. Well, we're glad to have you around when you've been in here. We appreciate you. There's the first pitch breaking ball down in the dirt to Jonathan Scope, and the count is 1-0. That is the 3,065th hit of Cabrera's career. He just continues to rack up the hits. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the third baseman, Ramirez, who makes the catch, and that is going to do it here. And that is going to end the inning for the Tigers in their half of the 5th inning. But there was damage done, and there was lots of it. 3 runs in the inning for the Tigers, 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5 complete in Detroit. It is the Tigers 5, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 6th inning in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys could be with us here today. We appreciate your support of the channel.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave. Be sure to check out Zero Fox and let them know Last Raps Baseball sent you. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the call at the top of the 6th inning. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 6th inning. It is going to be Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes, and Owen Miller. As it looks like Michael Pineda's day is done for the Tigers as they are going to the bullpen, and it is going to be Alex Lang coming into the game. Alex Lang is a right-hander on to replace Pineda. Pineda exits the game at 83 pitches. He threw 48 for strikes. His day is done as he left with a score at 5-2. Tigers have given him the lead, and Alex Lang is now coming in. He's worked this is going to be his 35th appearance. He's worked 30 and a third innings, and he's got himself an ERA of 2.08. He struck out 39 and walked 15 in his appearances so far. So Lang is just completing his warm-up tosses as we are ready to resume the action here with Ramirez, Reyes, and Miller to face the Tiger right-hander here in the top of the 6th inning. For Ramirez, he is 0 for 2 today. He has flown out twice, once to left and once to right field. Ramirez is batting .287 on the season. He's got 16 homers and 63 RBIs. He is 2 for 12 in the series against the Tigers. The Tiger pitching has really quieted the bats of the Guardians through the first 3.5 games of the series. There's the breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Jose Ramirez. Lang working from the stretch position. He holds set at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. It is playable, and that is going to be caught by Tucker Barnhart just in front of the Tiger dugout. And Ramirez is gone for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. For Reyes today, he is 1 for 2. He got the scoring going for the Guardians in the top half of the second inning with a solo shot. He is also flown out to right field. So the big fellow waiting on the first offering from Alex Lang. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. The fly ball out that Reyes had also went to the deepest part of Comerica in right field, as Willie Castro had to leap to make a catch on that one. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. Reyes has had a approach to the plate where he's trying to go the other way today, as that home run that he hit was a line drive right into the right field seats. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Reyes. Guardians are looking to try to get something going to claw back on the Tigers, who've taken that 5-2 lead. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Reyes. Lang gets his signal from the catcher Barnhart, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-2. There is a full slate of action across Major League Baseball today. We'll catch you up on some of the out-of-town scores. Also in the American League Central, it is the Twins leading the White Sox 2-1. That is in the top of the second. And there's a pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. It's down in the dirt. Reyes takes off to first base. It's going to go down as a strikeout 2-3 to retire Reyes for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Owen Miller. So for Owen Miller, he steps to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. He has raised his average to 246. He gets the start at first base. The other game that is underway in the bottom of the third inning, it is the Cubs and the Brewers. It is 0-0 there in the bottom of the third. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Miller that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Miller waiting on the offering from the right-hander Lang, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. Miller's got his second base hit of the afternoon. This time, this one comes with 2 outs, as the last one did as well. As he is aboard with the single, that is going to bring up the left fielder, Richie Palacios. That is the 6th hit of the ball game for the Guardians. The Tigers have 7. The difference is the Tigers have strung theirs together a little bit better than Cleveland has. So that brings Palacios to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. He flew to center field his last time up. He also walked back in the second inning. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Palacios is batting .253 on the season. No homers and 10 runs batted in. He's been busy in left field for the Guardians. He's had a couple of putouts today. Here's the pitch from Lang. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Palacios. Troy says, who's pitching now? He says, and then it's Alex Lang. Yep, Alex Lang is on in relief here. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. Count is 2-1. Something that you want. Our friend Bay Area Sports, when he was in here, Bay Area EA Sports, he said, they get a run and then they come back and they give up 2 or 3 back. Being the Guardians would get the run and the Tigers would come right back at them. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the Tigers in particular need to come back and put up zeros when they give up a run. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. And so that would be said for the Guardians too. The Guardians get that run in the top of the second inning on the home run by Reyes, and then Bieber comes back and gives up 2. They fall behind then, or they come back and even the score at 2. And then they give up 3 in the next inning. It's important for your pitchers to come in and throw up a 0 as soon as you get runs to keep the momentum and keep the conga line going. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Palacios. Troy says it's the bullpen now, and that means that Cleveland is shut down. Well, the Tiger bullpen has been very solid this year. I don't know if they're in the top 5 in all of baseball, but you'd have to keep them in the top 10 for sure. The Tiger bullpen has been electric, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Palacios has gone on strikes. Miller was on the run, but wouldn't win it anyway as the inning is over. There's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5.5. It is the Tigers 5, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning after this. We're glad you guys could come on in and check us out today. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is great for you to be here. We are moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Tiger batting order. Willie Castro, Cody Clemens, and Spencer Torkelson who are coming into the game. Our friend Troy points out that the Tigers bullpen is 3rd in ERA. He's absolutely correct. And has happened over the last little bit. The number 1 team in ERA out of the bullpen is the Houston Astros. They are tough. They got a 2.63 ERA. Yankees are next at 2.7, and the Tigers slot in there next at a 3.02. ERA is one thing. Other thing I like to look at is the WHIP. That's the walks plus the hits divided by the innings pitched. Tigers are the 6th in that category. They're behind Houston, San Diego, Seattle, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. There's the first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away by Castro. On the count is 0-1. And the WHIP is obviously the hits and the walks per innings pitched, and you want that as low as possible. The Tigers are sitting at 1.18. They're actually tied with the Braves. So they are inching their way up ever so much better. They also have 305 strikeouts to the bullpen. And that is not ranking them in the top 10. The Cubs are the best for that. There's a fastball that is swung on. This is fouled away down the right field line. The count now goes to 0-2 on Castro. All right, Tigers, that statistic can be a bit deceiving, the strikeouts, because when you start looking at how much the bullpen is used, a good team or a team with a good starting rotation can go a little deeper in the game. It's not that their guys aren't striking hitters out at the back end. It's they just don't have as many innings to have to throw. That would be the case with some teams who are getting 6 and 7 innings out of their starting pitchers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2 to Castro. But definitely the Tigers' bullpen is one of the best, and they've got Michael Fulmer now heating up in the pen. Be curious to see if they're going to extend one of these arms to go more than just 1 inning. Here comes the offering from Bieber. It's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep left center field, racing back and now backpedaling. Boy, that was quite the zoo route by Richie Palacios. He makes the catch. Castro is going to be gone for out number 1. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Cody Clemens. For the Tigers' next opponent, they're going to be in Chicago to face the White Sox. That series gets going tomorrow night. And so coming off of this one, it'll be a tough series as well. It doesn't get any easier. The Tigers have had their struggles with the White Sox. There's a fastball that's delivered to Cody Clemens that misses low, and the count is 1-0. It'll be Bo Brisky taking to the hill tomorrow night against Dylan Cease. If you haven't seen Dylan Cease pitch, he is pretty good. He reminds me in some ways of Bieber, the way that he is short to the ball here. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1 to Clemens. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's the offering. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Clemens. After this series, the Guardians, there's a breaking ball that misses down to Clemens, and the count goes to 3-1. Guardians tomorrow on Thursday, they get the day off to get their regroup. And on Friday, they go to Kansas City to begin a 3-game series against the Central Division cellar dwellers, the Royals. That might be the tonic that the Guardians need to get back on track. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 3-2 to Clemens. Clemens in the second inning had a single and an RBI. He also stole a base and scored a run. He was all over the base paths. And here comes the 3-2 from Bieber. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and Clemens is aboard for the second time today as he's got himself a 1-out walk. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Spencer Torkelson. Our friend Troy asked the question. He says, who do you think the Tigers all-star will be this year? It's a good question. It was really a toss-up in some regards. There were some people that were saying, first of all, I don't think any positional players would be a candidate for an all-star. Just statistically, none of the players are popping. Nobody. So you have to come down to one of the pitchers, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Spencer Torkelson. Well, there was some early talk that Willie Peralta might be that guy. Gregory Soto's been good, but he hasn't been fantastic. Fulmer's had his rough patches. So, now that they've got everything kind of straightened out a little bit in the pen, I wouldn't be surprised any one of those guys. It's only got to be one rep. The Tigers are not a great ball club by any stretch. They throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Clemens. I say that not out of disrespect for the Tigers, but they're second last place. If it wasn't for the Kansas City Royals, they'd be in dire straits. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Torkelson, and the count now goes to 2-2 or 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Bieber is about to throw his 88th pitch of the ball game. One would have to think that this is probably going to be his last inning of work. He checks the runner at first, and now he comes set at the belt. And he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Clemens. As he gets to his feet, it is Eli Morgan who is up and throwing. Morgan last pitched a couple days ago for the Guardians. And here comes the 0-2 offering. Bieber again throws over to first, and again diving back is Clemens. One would think that this is probably going to be a good pitch for Clemens to run on. You would like to think, or you would have to think, that Bieber is going to be throwing something off speed here. So if Clemens can get himself a good jump, he may be able to take the bag. He establishes his lead over at first base. Bieber checks the runner. He comes set at the belt. And here's the pitch. Clemens is not going, and there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Torkelson is down on strikes for the second time today. He is out for out number 2. That is going to leave it all up to Tucker Barnhart to have to do some damage. A little surprised that nothing was on there, truthfully, with Clemens at first base. You knew it was going to be a breaking ball coming to Torkelson with 2 strikes. The way that Bieber had pitched today, it was pretty predictable. Maybe the only person in the park who didn't know was Torkelson, who waved at it. So here comes the catcher, Tucker Barnhart, who is 1 for 1 today. He's also drawn a walk and scored a run. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. But just back to Troy's question about the All-Stars, I can't see any Tiger offensively being an All-Star. Defensively, as we said, from the pitching standpoint, it's probably going to be a bullpen arm. As far as the Guardians are concerned, I think they can have 2 or 3 representatives in the game. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Barnhart. Jose Ramirez is the leading and number 1 candidate. One would have to think that he will be on his way. And when you look at some of the others, maybe Emmanuel Clase, possibly. A couple of the arms have had some decent years. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0 to Barnhart. That would probably be my guesses, 2 or 3 candidates for the Guardians. So here comes the 3-0 offering. And the pitch from Bieber is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. Also, another thing is there has been the inconsistency, just as the Guardians are 40-39 entering the game today. There is some inconsistency with the Guardians in terms of their pitching. Tristan McKenzie, as we said on the weekend, fired that 1-hitter through 7 against the Yankees in the Bronx. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and it's going to be ball 4 to Barnhart. And he is going to be aboard. It's his 2nd time today he has walked. So Cody Clemens goes to 2nd. Barnhart is the runner at 1st, and that is going to bring Terry Francona out of the dugout. He's already made the sign that he wants the right-hander, and that is Eli Morgan. And Shane Bieber's day is going to be done, as it'll be Riley Green coming up to bat here for the Tigers with 2 out and 2 on in the 6th inning. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We'll get you all the specs. It looks like Eli Morgan is coming into the ball game. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It'll be a relief pitcher coming into the game for the Guardians. It's going to be Eli Morgan. Morgan is 4-2 on the season. He's going to be working and appearing in his 25th game. Morgan has worked 37 innings. He's allowed only 19 hits. He's given up 15 runs, 11 which have been earned. He has 6 and struck out 47. This is Morgan's 2nd year with the Guardians. He's having himself a very solid campaign. Last year, he was 5-7 for the Guardians. He had a fluffed up ERA of 5.34. He had made 18 starts for the Guardians last year, but this year they're working him out of the bullpen. He is all but 1 game that he had started has been a bullpen arm for the Guardians. So he is taking over here. And you got to wonder if Morgan might be a guy who might be able to give him more than just the proverbial 1 inning, as he's coming on in relief for Francona. He was originally drafted by the Guardians or the Indians organization or the Guardians organization back in the 2017 draft out of Gonzaga University in the 8th round. He is a 26-year-old right-hander. He's not a big guy. He's only 5'10 and 190, but he is coming on in relief. We were talking about the potential players that could be all-star candidates for the Guardians. And we said, obviously, the offense, you got to think that Jose Ramirez is a surefire candidate to be in the All-Star game. The only other players that may be worth talking about is Andres Jimenez, who is batting .298 on the season. He's had some clutch hits, but are his numbers good enough? He's only 23 years old, so one would have to think that he's going to have some All-Star appearances in his future. I would say that he would be a fellow that offensively could be a candidate. On the pitching end of things, there's nobody that really pops as a starter. It is more along the lines of the bullpen, and you would have to say that Emmanuel Clase would be probably the leading candidate to be there as well. So here we go back to the live action as the right-hander Morgan has completed his tosses, and the first pitch was a called strike to Riley Green. And here comes the second offering, and it is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Riley Green. Not the day that Shane Bieber wanted as he completed it on 93 pitches. Runners are his responsibilities as Morgan is trying to come in and put out the fire here. So here comes the 0-2 offering to Green. Morgan checks the runner. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Green. Green waggles the bat as he waits on the 1-2 offering now from Morgan. He checks the runner Clemens at second. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 1-2. Our friend Bay Area EA Sports says, let's get back in this Cleveland 1 run per inning. 1 at a time, get on base. Well, they're going to have to put this fire out first, and then they're going to have to chip away. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Riley Green. Morgan again checks the runner at second. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on, and it's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count is going to remain at 1-2. The Tigers are looking to pad to their lead here as they're threatening with 2 out here in the 6th inning. Green waggles the bat. Now he's ready on the 1-2 offering from Morgan. Morgan comes set at the belt. He checks the runner Clemens at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. And the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley Green. For a getaway game in Detroit, it is a pretty healthy crowd. Mind you, the kids are on their summer break, and Cleveland's not all that far away. The Guardian fans do travel fairly well in the Midwest, especially Detroit, to go and see them typically beat up on the Tigers. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a changeup that misses outside, and that runs the count to 3-2. The Tigers have not been good hosts as they've taken the first 3 in this series from the Guardians. They're not very hospitable. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Morgan looks at the runner at second. The runners are off and running. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted, and it is a leaping catch on a line drive that was hit up the middle. Ahmed Rosario had leapt and made the grab, and that is going to do the inning here for the Tigers, as that is going to retire Green for out number 3. So for the Tigers in their half of the inning, there was no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 6 complete. It is the Tigers 5, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 7th inning. When we return, we are glad you guys could be here with us. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher yet again.
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVlogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones, the creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount this time a mini and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. As we said, Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. The Saturday morning cartoons or the Sunday show notes are all in his bag. We're just waiting on his Whiskey Wednesdays to start up. That series is about to happen. Our friend Troy is lamenting over the Tigers. He says they'll finish the season all with winning months like last year. But the season is over in May. That's a playbook that the Tigers have chosen from the neighbors across the way, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions typically do stuff like that, where they stumble out of the gates, take themselves out of the playoff hunt, and then go on a crazy winning streak in the month of December to take them out of a top draft choice. That is what the Detroit Lions typically do. And that is what we are witnessing from the Tigers. Stumble out of the gate and then pick it up at the end and can't even get themselves a good draft choice. There's a first pitch that is a fastball from Michael Fulmer that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Michael Fulmer now on in relief for the Tigers here in the 7th inning. And he rocks into the motion and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So he'll be the third pitcher used by the Tigers today, as Fulmer is on in relief. He is working in his 31st ball game of the year, and there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0. Our friend Troy laughs and says in the chat, he says, "That's exactly what I told my friends." He goes, "The Tigers are the new Detroit Lions." And then they'll end up picking 7th or 8th in the draft order. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. Not sure what the draft looks like this year in the MLB draft outside of the top 5 or 6 players. What you're going to be able to get, there's a fastball that misses down and away, and Clement is aboard for the 3rd time today with a base on balls. He's on with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Sandy Leon. For Leon, he is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the 5th inning. He was raced on a double play. He has also flown out to left. He's raised his average up to 154. He's batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Fulmer. Leon is a switch hitter. They do have 3 fielders to the right side of second base. Our friend Bay Area EA Sports says, "Let's go, more runners." They don't just need more runners, but they need to be able to get it to turn over to the top of the order so they can do the damage. But the bottom part here is going to have to set the table. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Sandy Leon. So Leon waiting on the next offering from Fulmer. Fulmer holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 0-2. Leon does a 180 in the box as he's walks away and adjusts his batting gloves. I don't think he was necessarily upset at the call by Tripp Gibson as much as he was upset at himself for watching that hanging breaking ball go by. So no balls and 2 strikes to Leon. The runner at first is Clement. Leon waggles the bat. And here comes the pitch from Fulmer. It's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sandy Leon as we take another quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard while this game is continuing on. Here comes the pitch now from Fulmer. And there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Leon has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Miles Straw. We're just keeping an eye on that other game in the American League Central. The Twins are now extended their lead to 3-1 over the White Sox. That's in the bottom of the 3rd inning. At the end of 4 innings, the Cubs and the Brewers are all knotted up at 0s. Nothing there, nothing going on between the Cubs and the Brew Crew. Blue Jays and Athletics are just about to get underway. That'll be another game set to start. All the rest of the games are later starts. So here comes the offering from Fulmer. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Straw. For Straw today, he is 0 for 2. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up and grounded into a double play by grounding to the shortstop his second time up. Fulmer throws over to first, and diving back is the runner Clement. So no balls and 1 strike to Straw. Fulmer, he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher Barnhart. He comes set at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that is waved at and missed by Straw. And the count is now 0-2. I was talking a little bit about Straw the last time, and I said he's one of those guys that, they're going to roll him. I like the way that he does play center field. I like the way that he runs. I like the way that he runs the bases when he can get on. Problem is he's got to sort something out with his stick. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. And sometimes just sitting a guy down for a little bit will do the trick. There is action in the Cleveland bullpen as James Karinchak is up and throwing. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Straw. And here comes the offering from Fulmer. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. Moving in and now drifting back on it is Castro. He's going to make the catch. Willie Castro has been very adventurous out in right field today. He has caught everything that has come to him, but not without the Tiger management probably biting their nails. He has not made any of the 3 catches he's made today look easy. And Straw has gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring the top of the order up, Stephen Kwan. For Stephen Kwan, he is 1 for 2 today. He doubled his last time up and knocked in the Guardians' second run. He's also flown to right and walked. And the first pitch to Kwan is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. He has raised his season average to 272. He's got a homer and 21 RBIs now on the campaign. So here comes the offering from Fulmer. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 1-1. Troy just says, let's just say Willie isn't known for his defense. Yes. Willie Castro was originally acquired from the Guardians organization in a trade that sent Leonis Martin the other way. We've seen Leonis Martin playing quite a bit in the NPB for the Chiba Lotte Marines. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2 on Kwan. I got a chance to see Leonis Martin play quite a bit. He was with the Seattle Mariner organization after he had arrived from Texas. I really didn't like his game in Seattle. And then he went to Detroit, and I liked his game even less. Detroit flipped him to the Guardians. He ended up getting sick, seriously ill, to the point where they said that he almost lost his life. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. He had some type of infection, and he ended up in the hospital when he was with the Guardians. But once his Guardians career was over, he's gone over to Japan, and I've seen him play a number of times in the Japanese league, and looks like he's turned his game around a little bit. A nice extended career. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is lined into right field. It's going to get down in front of Willie Castro. Here comes the throw back into the infield. It goes into second base. Stopping at second will be Clement. Kwan is aboard for the 3rd time today with that base hit single, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. And that is going to bring the pitching coach, Chris Fetters, up to the mound to have a word with his right-hander, Fulmer, who is struggling here a little bit. I'm just curious to see how they're going to use this here. Fulmer coming in the 7th inning. I wonder if they had in their mind to possibly use him for a couple of innings. But I don't know if that's going to happen here. Gibson's on his way out to the mound to break up the conference. Andrew Chafin is getting loose. He looks like he's going to get hot for the 8th inning, but he is on standby if need be here. So Chafin getting himself loosened up in a big hurry. And of course, they've got Gregory Soto to close it out with the Tigers if that's the route they're going to choose to path today. So Rosario is 0 for 3 today. He has popped to the second baseman. He's grounded to short. He is also struck out. Our friend Bay Area Sports says this would be a perfect time for a home run, and the first pitch delivered to Rosario is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Rosario batting .275 on the season. There is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. Not sure if Rosario is the guy to put one in the seats at Comerica, but he is a guy who could drive a run in here and create some havoc on the base paths. Here comes the 1-1 offering. And there is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. The Tiger outfield is in no doubles depth, as they are back trying to keep everything in front. They are giving up the lines, though, to Rosario. They are bunched in the middle of the park. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ahmed Rosario. Our schedule of games coming up, we're a little bit undecided. We are going to be back on the streams over the next 4 days. We just have to decide what we're going to call. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. There is one deciding factor. We're entertaining the thoughts of going to Seattle to see the Mariners and the Blue Jays tomorrow. And we are waiting on a pitching acknowledgement of who it is. It's going to be Marco Gonzalez for the Mariners. The Blue Jays have the TBD. It's supposed to be Kevin Gausman's spot in the rotation, who I would have liked to have seen. So here comes the 2-2. It is a fast breaking ball swung on. It is grounded into the ground in front of home plate. It is fielded by Barnhart. He throws to first. That is going to retire the batter, Rosario, but it looks like that ball was a foul ball, according to Trip Gibson. We're going to have to take a look at this one again. I'm not sure where it was. Barnhart came right out to field it, but he fielded it in foul territory. As we get the replay, Gibson was right there in front of it to make the call. That is a foul ball, and that is going to keep the count at 2-2. It was a swinging bunt that had come down the third baseline. It had bounced on the ground. It had a lot of English on it. It was picked up by the catcher Barnhart. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Drifting over to his left is Riley Green. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it here. The Guardians are gone in their half of the 7th inning. There was no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left the board. We're through 6.5. It is the Tigers 5, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 7th inning. In just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. We'll be right back. And we got the living room in the house. Hang tight. We'll be back and chat it up in just a couple moments.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the seventh inning. It's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Tigers to come up. It means it's going to be Javi Baez, Robbie Grossman, and Miguel Cabrera. Our friend, the living room, has stopped in, and he says he's all fired up today. And he is yelling. He said he was yelling at his radio. How bad are both of these teams? Well, the Guardians really, as Troy points out, they're not that bad. In fact, I would say they might be one serious bat away from doing some major damage. Mind you, in the Central Division, it only gives them, a couple of type of bats. But the supporting cast of Reyes and Naylor and Rosario and Jimenez, who's not in the lineup today, they will be a formidable group. And that's what I would think of when I think of them. James Karinchak is now coming on in relief. He is going to be the third pitcher used today. And he will be taking over for Eli Morgan, who came on in relief of Shane Bieber. So James Karinchak is in. And Eli Morgan is out. And the first pitch delivered to Javi Baez is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Baez today is 1 for 3. He had a single and an RBI in the fifth. He's struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. And here Karinchak holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count is now 1-1. I saw Karinchak pitch the other day, and we were talking a little bit and saying that the big problem for Karinchak is that when the pine tar substance was taken out, Karinchak's number ended up in a whole host of hard, and he ended up back in the minor leagues for a little bit to sort himself out. It's going to be his second appearance of the season. He pitched the other day. We saw him against the Tigers, and he'd worked one inning, allowed a couple of hits and a run. He'd walked one and struck out 3. As that breaking ball dropped in for a strike on Baez. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Baez. He's got a very weird delivery. He's really over the top. I have to say, I don't remember seeing Karinchak pitch a whole lot a couple of years ago. When he was having that solid season, in 2020, he appeared in 27 games for the Guardians, posted an ERA at 2.67. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now runs full to Baez. He was really good. He actually finished 6th in voting in the Rookie of the Year. And last year, he had come back and was having a good part to the season, and then all of a sudden, it fell apart for him. So it'll be interesting to see how he rebounds here. He wears his pants, don't always come all the way down to the ankle, and he's got these old school stirrups on underneath. There's a fastball that misses up to Baez, and Baez is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. That's going to bring up Robbie Grossman to the plate. For Grossman, he is 0 for 3 today. He has grounded out twice and struck out. Our friend Troy says the Tigers scoring runs results in winning. If they only had scored the whole year, they'd be a decent team or a good team. Grossman is 1 for 12 in this series. Here's the first offering from Karinchak. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Karinchak can bring the fastball up. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour heater, as the last pitch showed. One thing I don't like about his fastball is it is straight as an arrow. That is probably the knock. That's probably why he throws his breaking ball, but he's got a very good breaking ball. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. This ball is over the head of Kwan. It's up against the wall. It's trouble. It is fielded by the center fielder by the Guardians, who is able to get it back in, and that is Miles Straw. And that is going to be a triple for Robbie Grossman and an RBI, as Javi Baez is going to score all the way from first base. It was a tough play by Kwan, because when that ball goes into the corner, the way it hit off the wall, he was going in after it after the ball got over his head, but it hit off the wall and it kicked toward the center fielder's Straw. Nice swing there by Grossman. He drives in the Baez for the 6th run of the ball game. Our poor friend the Bay Area EA Sports is probably pounding his fist on the table somewhere. He needed the Guardians to get the runs, and instead it's the Tigers coming back with stuff. And there's the first pitch to Miguel Cabrera, swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1. For Cabrera today, he is 1 for 3. He's got a couple of RBIs, which came in his last at bat back in the 5th inning. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it is the center fielder's straw. It's going to be deep enough. And Cabrera has driven home Grossman for the 7th run of the ball game. It's going to go down as a sacrifice fly to 8. Cabrera gets his 3rd RBI of the game as Grossman crosses the plate, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Jonathan Schoop. For Schoop, he is 1 for 3. He singled and stole a base and scored a run back in the 2nd. He's also flown out to left and popped to 3rd. So he bats here with 1 out in the 7th against the right-hander James Karinchak. The first pitch delivered to Schoop is outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Schoop. And Karinchak delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So no pine tar, no success for Karinchak is what it's looking like. As we said, last year he was electric. The year before, that was the pitcher maybe who has benefited the least from the pine chart checks. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. But camping out underneath it is going to be the left fielder Palacios, and he's going to make the catch. Schoop is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Willie Castro. Our friend Bay Area Sports says a top 8 team in the league got swept by a bottom 5 team in the league. And who would have saw it coming? Because let's call a spade a spade. The Guardians were coming off a high by winning that last game in New York. Obviously, Tristan McKenzie had done the job on the mound. They waltz into Detroit, and they end up dropping 4 straight to the Tigers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Castro. Certainly the Detroiters didn't see it coming. Their pitching is pretty much banged up. They had the rookie in his debut, Garrett Hill, go 6 strong, and there's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of the second baseman. Willie Castro hit the ball on the screws, but right to the glove of the second baseman, Ernie Clement, and he is retired for out number 3. But the Tigers do some damage here in the inning. Another crooked number on the board, 2 runs in the inning. On the benefit of 1 hit, there were no errors and nobody left the board. We're now through 7. It is the Tigers 7, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call at the top of the 8th inning. We are always glad you are with us. Whether you listen live or on delay, it's much appreciated that you are here. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
All I want
Welcome back, everybody. The Tigers are making a pitching change. They're going to the bullpen again. This is going to be the fourth pitcher used today. It'll be Andrew Chafin coming into the ball game, as he is going to be taking over for Michael Fulmer. The left-hander has entered the fray here in the 8th inning, as he is going to be appearing in his 29th game for the Tigers. He's worked 23 and 2/3 innings. He's got an earned run average of .266. He has struck out 30 and only walked 7 in those 23 and 2/3 innings. So he is on in relief, and he is going to be facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Cleveland batting order. It'll be Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes, and Owen Miller. He'll be turning Ramirez around to bat right-handed for the first time today. And here comes the first pitch from Chafin. It is a fastball that misses down and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Ramirez has flown out to left. He has flown out to center, and he's popped to third. He takes a breaking ball down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. That last pitch from Chafin looked like it was pretty good, but not in the eyes of the umpire, Trip Gibson. So here comes the 2-0 offering. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Andrew Chafin. Chafin holds set at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 2-2 to Ramirez. I might have said Chafin. That's the guy who's pitching. It's been one of those days, but we've enjoyed being here with you. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the offering to Ramirez, and it is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Clemens bobbles it. He goes across the diamond. The throw is high, and it is off the tarp. Going over to second is Ramirez. We're going to have to see how they score it. I don't think there'll be 2 errors on the play, but it is definitely going to be E5. And Ramirez is over to second. Clemens had bobbled the ball. It was a ball hit, hard shot to him. It was a 2-hopper. He kept it in front of him. Then he picked it up barehanded. He had a ton of time to be able to make the play, but he airmailed it over Torkelson. And the crowd down the right field line was ducking out of the way. So that is going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate with a runner at second and nobody out. So the Guardians may not be dead yet. And here comes the first offering from Chafin. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Reyes today homered in the second inning. He's also flown out to right, and he has struck out. He waggles the bat. Now he's waiting on the offering from Chafin, who delivers a breaking ball that swung on, and it's grounded foul down the third base line. And the count is quickly now 0-2 to Franmil Reyes. The Guardians have had their struggles today at the plate. They would score a run, and the Tigers would come right back at them. The Guardians had that run in the second. The Tigers came back with 2. The Guardians scored 1 in the 5th. The Tigers came back with 3. So there is the pitcher Chafin doing a inside move that brings Jose Ramirez back to the base at second base. So Chafin comes set at the belt. He checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up on the left side of the infield. Lots of space for Javi Baez, who camps out underneath it. He makes the catch. And Reyes is gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Owen Miller. For Miller today, he is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. And he has struck out looking. He has brought his average up to 249. So Miller steps in at the plate. The runner at second is Jose Ramirez. He's in scoring position. A base hit would bring him around, but the Guardians need more than just 1 run at this point. They are running out of outs. They've got One gone here in the 8th inning. Chafin checks the runner and he delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Miller. Miller batting from the right side against the lefty Chafin, who leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Miller. Chafin again leans in and ready to go back to work. He gets these signs from his catcher, Barnhart. He's flashing a pile of them with the runner at second. They're not using the digital computer system. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted into the seats over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Richie Palacios waits his turn on deck for the Guardians. So here comes the offering from Chafin, although I have to say I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pinch hitter for Palacios. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. That keeps the count at 0-2 to Miller. Andrew Chafin has a very distinctive look. He's got a bushy mustache. He's got some curly hair that's down below his shoulders. When I first saw him this year, I thought, hey, he and Jake Rogers, maybe they got something in common. They look very similar. Of course, Rogers is the injured catcher for the Tigers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It has popped up in the infield. Chafin was going to take it, but he's called off by Torkelson. Had a bit of an odd spin to it. And Torkelson makes the catch, and that is going to retire Miller for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Richie Palacios. We're going to take a look to see if they are going to bring a pinch hitter in. This would be the time to do it because Palacios is a left-handed stick. Chafin being the lefty on the mound. It is going to be Oscar Mercado coming up to bat. Mercado, of course, began the season with the Guardians. He ended up getting designated for assignment. And now he's found his way back to the Guardians. Here we go. The first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. They appeal down to Eric Backus at first base, but they say he didn't go. So 1 ball and no strikes to Mercado. Mercado digs himself in. He's waiting on the offering from the left-hander Chafin. And now time is called as Mercado has stepped out of the box. We're going to do this all over again. For it's a fastball swung on and missed. 1-1. As we mentioned, it was a short-lived time away from the Guardians. Mercado was selected by the Philadelphia Phillies on waivers from the Guardians. Back on June 27th, there was a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. He played 1 game in a Phillies uniform. He got himself 1 at bat. That was it. Then he got waived, and then the Guardians picked him back up on the 4th of July. He's back in their lineup here. And here comes the offering from Chafin. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2. Mercado would be in his 4th year right now with the Guardians. Last year, he hit .224, and he had 6 homers and 19 RBIs. He can run a little bit. He had 7 stolen bases. His career high was in 19 when he had 15 stolen bases. Also looked like that there was some promise. He had 15 homers and 15 stolen bases in his rookie year. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal down to the first base umpire, Eric Backus, who says that Mercado didn't go, and the count goes to 2-2. Emmanuel Clase, the Guardians closer, is up in the bullpen. He's going to get some action here as they need to get him some work. As we said, the Guardians have the day off tomorrow, so the back end of their bullpen needs to get some action before they go to Kansas City. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Mercado gets himself set in. He's ready on the 2-2 offering from Chafin. This is going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Runner at second is Ramirez. There is 2 gone here in the 8th inning. And here comes the pitch from Chafin. It is a breaking ball down in the dirt, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. There was talk about, what about Tariq Skubal for an all-star? Probably about 3 or 4 starts ago, Skubal would have been the one in consideration for being an all-star. We were talking about Tiger all-stars and Guardian all-stars. But I think over the last 3 or 4 starts, Tariq Skubal has pitched his way out of the conversation. So Chafin leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher Barnhart. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up behind home plate. It's playable as Barnhart is going to make the catch, and that is going to do it for out number 3. So for the Guardians in their half of the inning, there were no runs on no hits. There was an error. There was 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Tigers 7, the Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 8th in just a couple of moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us today for Guardians and Tiger baseball. We appreciate you all for being here. Here is our friend Steve.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to go check him out after the ball game for all your entertainment needs. Just a couple of notes. It is going to be Cody Clemens, Spencer Torkelson, and Tucker Barnhart, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Tiger batting order to face the Cleveland pitchers. It looks like it's going to be Emmanuel Clase who is coming in to replace James Karinchak. So Emmanuel Clase coming in relief. He is typically the closer, but he is not going to be closing this one out. The Tigers as a team have had 41 hits in this series, and 33 have been singles. Only 8 have been for extra bases. This is not a team that is built for power, and in this particular ballpark, one would have to question why the Tigers roll out the type of offense that they do. They don't have enough athletes. There's not enough guys who can run, not enough guys who can steal bases. Certainly the addition of Baez at short is an upgrade. And certainly Riley Green is an upgrade in the outfield, but they really need to get themselves 2 or 3 more guys who can really flash some speed. So here comes the first offering to Cody Clemens as Clase delivers a fastball that is swung on and grounded foul. count is 0-1. Oscar Mercado will take over in left field for Richie Palacios after that pinch hit at bat. That is the defensive change for the Guardians. So 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike to Clemens. He is 1 for 2 today. He's been on base twice. He's also walked. He has stolen base and driven in a run. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Clemens, Torkelson, and Barnhart here in the last half of the 8th inning. And here comes the offering from Clase. It's no balls and 2 strikes. He delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. And looking up and watching it go is Stephen Kwan. It is a solo shot for Cody Clemens. That's going to be his 3rd homer of the year, his 2nd hit of the ball game. And the Tigers have added to their lead. It is 8-2. Wherever those gamblers are, I'm not sure what they've got for over-unders. This game is probably approaching the over now. I wouldn't have expected with Pineda and Bieber on the hill to see a 8-2 ball game. So Clemens drives his 2nd run of the game in. That's 2 RBIs for him by knocking himself in. The 3rd homer of the series for the Tigers. So Spencer Torkelson will come to the plate. He is 1 for 3 today. And here comes the first offering from Clase. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball at 101 that backs Torkelson off the plate. So 1 ball and no strikes. Torkelson did single and score a run in the 5th inning. That was in between 2 strikeouts. And here comes the offering from Clase. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to 3rd. Ramirez fields it. He fires across the diamond. And that is going to retire Torkelson on the ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the catcher, scheduled to bring up the catcher, Tucker Barnhart. So Cody Clemens hits home run at number 3 to put the Tigers up 8-2. So Barnhart is 1 for 1 today. He's reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate. He has a single and 2 walks. He has also scored a run and driven a run in. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Barnhart. Clase leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher, Leon. He holds set at the chest and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is pop foul behind home plate. And the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Riley Green is waiting his turn on deck, as the Tigers are the bottom of the batting order right now with Barnhart swinging. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Clase comes set. And here he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Barnhart is retired for the 2nd out of the inning, and that'll bring the top of the order, Riley Green, to the plate. Our friend Bay Area EA Sports says, appreciate the game call. We thank you, and we'll see you again. We appreciate you for being here and stopping in. And hopefully you can come and join us again. We'll be posting up our schedule here over the next couple of days. We are going to be calling probably about anywhere from 3 to 6 games from now until Sunday. So hopefully you can join us again. We appreciate your support. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away by Riley Green, and the count is 0-1. Green today is 1 for 4. He singled his first time up and was raced in a fielder's choice, and then he grounded out, he struck out, and he lined out. Green's average has tumbled to 273 on the season. Clase holds at the belt, and now he raises to his chest. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Bay Area EA Sports does not want to stick around to see the Cleveland Guardians' greatest comeback of all time. I always laugh about that a little bit. I was in Chicago one year watching the Bears and the Jets in an NFL game. The Bears were getting punched out by the Jets. This has got to be about 25 years ago. There's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. And as the Bear fans were leaving the game, there were the cat calls from the Jets fans that said, "Hey, where are you going? Don't you know the Bears are coming back?" And of course, they were down by like 30 with 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. So no balls and 2 strikes. It still is to Riley Green. Green waggles the bat. And now he waits on the offering from Clase. He kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball. Taken for a called third strike. Green stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Tigers in their half of the 8th inning. They got a home run in the inning from Cody Clemens. He gave them their run on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We are through 8 complete. It is the Tigers 8 and the Guardians 2. It'll be Will Vest coming on in relief for the Tigers when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. And we appreciate you all for being here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Cleveland batting order slated to come to bat. It'll be Will Vest on the mound. The pitcher or the hitters are going to be Ernie Clement, Sandy Leon, and Miles Straw to face the right-hander Vest, who's coming in relief. We were going to take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard again. There is still games going on in Major League Baseball today. The Blue Jays and the Athletics are now underway. It is 0-0. That's after 2 innings of play. The Brewers have got on the board against the Chicago Cubs. They got one in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now in the bottom of the 6th. It is 1-0 for the Brewers. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the White Sox and the Twins are all knotted up at 5. And here in Detroit, it is the Tigers with an 8-2 lead over the Guardians. They've got 3 outs to go here as Will Vest is taking over on the mound. So Vest is going to face Clement today, who has reached base all 3 times he's been to bat. Takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Vest has singled, he's walked, and he's bounced into a fielder's choice. Clement has singled, walked, and bounced into a fielder's choice. So he is 1 for 2 today. He has raised his average to 205. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul, and the count is 0-2. Will Vest in to get some work here for the Tigers. I still see some of the players wearing their Stars and Stripes stuff from the July 4th weekend. Ernie Clement is flashing the gloves. He might want to keep using them until further notice if he can continue to get on base as he has today, as a breaking ball missed down and away for a ball 1. So 1-2 to Clement. Once this game is over, we will do a recap of the out-of-town scores and also have a look at the stuff in this game. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-2. Really, the difference in this game is the Guardians have 7 hits, the Tigers have 9. But it's how the Tigers were able to bunch their hits together. They were able to string a few together in a couple of different innings to give them some runs. So here comes the 2-2 offering now to Clement. And Vest kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. Our friend Troy says the Tigers putting up some runs. He loves to see it. This is not a very strong hitting ball club. When you think about some of the hauls that teams have made, and then you look at the Tigers, their return. So then the Tigers gave up J.D. Martinez. What did Detroit get back in return? There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Racing over on it is Riley Green. He's going to make the catch, and he's going to haul it in for the first out of the inning. Clement took it for a ride, just not far enough in the cavernous Comerica Park. He is gone for out number 1. Green was on his horse, and he hauled it in. Makes you think Riley Green is probably more suited for the corner outfield. One would have to think that maybe Derek Hill gets an opportunity next year to be the everyday guy in center field. We talked about Victor Reyes. We talked about Austin Meadows, who is out hurt. There's your 4 outfielders for 2023. There's the first pitch. It is a fastball off the outside corner. The count is 1-0. They got to make some decisions on Victor Reyes. There's too many guys like Willie Castro and Harold Castro and these others that are getting at bats. Somebody's going to need to make sure they take something on. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. Our friend Troy says, we got a bag of Lay's classic potato chips and another bag of nacho cheese Doritos. They were the family size. Well, it might be more along the lines of what you got in the outfield. There's a line drive hit to center field right to the center fielder Green, who makes the catch. And Sandy Leon hits the ball on the screws. But right to the center fielder Green. That's going to be 2 out. That's going to bring up the center fielder Miles Straw. The Tiger fans who are left in the stands that aren't walking out of the stadium are on their feet. They're looking to bring this one home for the home team. They're cheering, resounding applause as Will Vest is wanting to finish this one out. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Miles Straw. Straw today is 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play. He's grounded to short, and he has flown out to right field. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that Straw waves at and misses, and the count is now 0-2. Troy says he wanted us to sign Starling Marte and or Chris Taylor for the outfield. Before the season started, I was on the Chris Taylor bandwagon for sure as a potential signing for the Tigers. After watching him play with the Dodgers this year, I'm kind of glad they didn't spend the money on Taylor. There is a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-2. He says, at the time, I thought it would have been a good deal, but Isaac Paredes' home runs would have helped us. I don't know if Paredes would have been hitting the home runs in Detroit as he has been in Tampa Bay. Ballpark efficiency. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded up the middle. It's backhanded by Scope. He throws to first. It's not going to be in time. Straw's got too much speed. It's going to be an infield hit. A nice job by Scope to be able to get to the ball up the middle. But he had no chance to get the speedy Straw. And that is going to bring up the top of the order, Stephen Kwan. For Kwan, he comes to the plate. He has been on base 3 times today. He is 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double. He has flown to right, and he's got an RBI. Our friend the living room chimes in. Jose Urena for the Rockies tonight. We saw he was activated. I didn't know that was going to mean that he was going to get the nod to start. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Of course, Jose Urena had spent time with the Tigers last year, but he also was a Marlin. I kind of liked Urena's stuff. I always felt there was something there to work with. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-2 to Kwan. Good to see that he's back in the big leagues getting another opportunity. But as I say, I always liked Durania's stuff. He just couldn't figure it out and get it all together. But you can see why teams will bring him in and give him a look-see. No doubt about it. He's got some talent and he's got some fire in the arm. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-2 to Kwan. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander Vest is on the hill. He gets the sign from his catcher, and now he comes set at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. His grounded softly to second. It is fielded by Scope. He throws to first, and that is going to do it here for the ball game as the Guardians go quietly in their half of the 9th inning. The Guardians in their half of the 9th, they had no runs on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score from Detroit, it is the Detroit Tigers 8, the Cleveland Guardians 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up and also give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll start with the out-of-town scoreboard. In the top of the 6th inning, the Twins and the White Sox in the other Central Division matchup are all knotted at 5. 5-6-1 for the Twins, 5-8-1 for the White Sox. That game's got a lot of stuff to play in that one, a lot of room to go. In the top of the 7th, the Cubs are trailing the Brewers 1-0. Corbin Burns has gone 6 2/3 strong so far for the Brew Crew. 1-4-0 for the Brewers, 0-3-0 for the Cubs. It is 2 gone in the top of the 7th. In the middle of the 3rd inning, the Blue Jays and the Athletics are tied at 0. 0-1-0 for the Jays, 0-2-0 for the Athletics. All the other games are later starts. Just to wrap up this one here from Comerica Park, the Guardians got things off in the right way. They had a solo shot homer in the top of the 2nd by Franmil Reyes. But the story in this one was always the comeback of the Tigers. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, Jonathan Scope led off with a single. With 1 out, Cody Clemens singled home the runner Scope. And then Tucker Barnhart knocked home Cody Clemens. The Tigers had a 2-0 lead. Stayed that way until the top of the 5th inning when Ernie Clement led off with a single. He was then advanced to second base on a single by Sandy Leone. And with 1 out, Stephen Kwan hit a double and knocked in a run. And that ended up making the score 2-2. But in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Tigers grabbed the lead and they kept it for good. It was Spencer Torkelson leading off with a single. Tucker Barnhart walked. And with 1 out, Javi Baez singled home a run to make the score 3-2. And then Miguel Cabrera stepped up to the plate and had a single that knocked in 2 runs. And that made the score 5-2. The Tigers added 2 more in the 7th on a walk to Baez. It was a triple by Grossman. He knocked in Baez. And then Miguel Cabrera stepped up again and drove in his 3rd run of the ball game with a sacrifice fly to center field. And your score at that point was 7-2. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Cody Clemens came up to the plate and he led off with a solo shot. And that ended up running the score to 8-2. And that's where this game is a final. So again, your final score from Comerica Park, 8-2 for the Tigers. We appreciate you all for being here again, whether it be our friend from the Bay Area, whether it's Troy, whether it is the living room. It doesn't matter who you were, who stopped in here today. Steve Rademacher was here. But we appreciate having everybody here and listening us in. If I missed you, it's not because I missed you. It's because I can't remember who else was in here. I'd have to back and scroll through the chats. So once again, everybody, we appreciate you all for checking in. We will catch you again later. Look for our schedule. It will come out a little later today on what we are going to do for the rest of the week. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again soon.